Good morning, everyone. Welcome. So, a key question up front: did everyone get some bacon?
Starting with me.
It's not a mess for the supervisor.
On a more serious note, so we're here on the 5-year business plan update. I'm going to turn it over to John.
Good morning. Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Yvonne Shu. I'm an analyst in the CEO, and I'm happy to be kicking off this presentation of the 5-year business plan. So we are going to go through in 30 minutes to 40 minutes all the accomplishments of the plan over year 3, so it'll be really tight, but we're going to keep it moving right along. And we're going to first start with acknowledging the extended universe of people who make this happen. So we have subject matter experts, we have members of employee steering committee, and we also have ambassadors whom you'll be hearing from later in the presentation. So these are just some of the faces of everyone who is involved. And as we enter year 4 of the plan, believe it or not, I thought it would be good to go over the purpose of the plan, which is really to work together to be a more responsive government. It's really internally focused to see how we can do things better internally and therefore serve our community. So many of you have probably received over the years an invitation to take part in the Pulse survey. And the purpose of the Pulse survey is really to gauge the progress of the plan and to get input from our employees. And so these are high-level numbers from the major areas that are covered in that really brief survey. They are in line with previous versions of the survey, which go out, by the way, in thirds to all the employees over the course of a calendar year. So this most recent survey went out in September. The next one will go out after Thanksgiving, so look for that. And so you can see, because these are consistent, there are some areas that still require some improvement, but we're making some progress and we continue to look at these metrics. But what I wanted to highlight for you are a few of the quotes that came in on question number 2, which is an open-ended question. How can Marin County become more diverse and inclusive? So these are not on here, but I'm just going to highlight a few of them. Have an open house 1 day per year for residents to drop in and better understand what the county does and who provides the services residents receive. Another suggestion, continue chipping away at the top-down approach. When possible, give the employees the courage to bring forth their ideas and have the supervisors be willing to implement them. And then finally, by looking at policies, procedures, and protocols that are exclusive and find ways to embrace diversity. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over to Berenice, who's going to cover focus area 1.
Hi, thank you, Berenice Davidson with the Department of Public Works. So I'm going to do the highlights of what we've been doing the last years, and we're going to watch a video on diversity and inclusion, and then I'm going to go over the goals for next year. So cultural competency, we've done a great job as an organization. We put up the trainings. So far, there's around 350 employees that have attended the training, and the demand for more classes have increased, so we're using outside consultants and also engaging employees to participate also in the training so that we can offer more number of classes so we can get to all of the employees sooner than later. Training for managers. We have done the training to plus or minus 100 employees that are involved in hiring people. So this is kind of to focus on unconscious bias so that we can do a better job at bringing in people to the organization. And diverse selection panels, I'm happy to report that we have 100% success rate in our goal of having a female representative and a person of color in every single one of our interview panels. So that's great. Reducing barriers, one of the goals was to look at the job classifications. We have, I forget how many job classifications in the county, but so far we've looked at 33% of them, and we have gotten rid of barriers, things that have been there historically, but really are those really prerequisites? Maybe we can bring them in and removing some prerequisites. Before I go into the goals for next year, let's watch the video that we put together. Somebody put together.
The County of Marin is becoming a more diverse organization. Over the past few years, the county has increased its representation of people of color from 28% to 35%, and women now constitute 57% of our workforce. However, to put that diversity into practice, the county recognizes that it needs to be a more inclusive and welcoming environment. Part of that endeavor means that we are going to offer the county a cultural competency training, which we expect all of our employees to go through. Since we initiated the training earlier this year, over 300 employees have taken that training, and I'm pleased to report that the results have been very positive. When we initiated the training, we were concerned that people would not be willing to discuss or hear about topics such as structural racism or implicit bias. However, the trainees that have gone through the training have been willing to discuss this topic, to learn more about it. They ask good questions, they share personal stories, and they really want to learn how structural racism and implicit bias is affecting the work that they do and how they can do things to improve both their workforce and also the community that they serve. I am proud to be a part of the Cultural Competency Training Group and look forward to the coming years where we will be training all county employees.
I had the opportunity to take the cultural competency class, and I was able to learn something that I never learned before. Back in World War II, when they were building ships in Sausalito, my grandmother came from Kansas to work at the shipyards. After the war ended, my grandmother had the economic opportunity to purchase property where her co-workers, people of color, were not able to purchase property due to restrictions on people of color in many developments. This was an opportunity that I had due to the color of my skin, and it never occurred to me that other people didn't have that opportunity. And it really opened my eyes to what is apparently institutional racism.
The county.
Okay, looking ahead, as you all know, we are moving into making decisions that are based on data, and this is with a bigger goal of becoming a high-performance government. So everything we're doing, not just on the diversity and inclusion steering committee, we want to attach data and goal setting to everything we do. And so we're looking at everything, moving to executive focus on equity. We're trying to look at everything we do through the lens of the 4 E's, which is the education, economy, equity, and environment. And of course, in diversity and inclusion, our goal is based on equity. So again, it's not limited to our steering committee, but just us government organization in general. And also looking ahead, we're going to focus on partnering with different colleges so that we can target more disadvantaged students to maybe join our organization, and we train them, and hopefully we end up hiring them as full-time employees. Same with community partnerships. I heard we have an equity, a summit on equity coming up in the spring, and that's collaborating with Marin Community Foundation and other nonprofits, and I look forward to participating in that and getting ideas on how to move forward. And one of the earlier slides, you heard that 60% of your employees feel they work in an inclusive organization. However, there are other 34%. I'd like for you, as we're entering year 4 of the 5-year business plan, I'd like you to consider delivering a strong message regarding equity and inclusion. The subject matter experts, steering committee, and ambassadors have achieved excellent progress. However, I don't think we've done a great job on communicating the 5-year business plan to all of the employees and all of the departments. And I'd like you to consider a message from the Board of Supervisors and County Administrator's Office, so that we're all together and we're all hearing the same strong message. We talked about this in year 1, and I like to revisit that. We've talked about it in our steering committee as a strong suggestion. Cultural changes take more than 5 years, as we've all acknowledged and discussed. There are 3 instrumental steps in my mind that are part of this change, and acknowledgement is one. We've done that. We didn't score too high in this area, so we've acknowledged. Open communication is key. I don't think we were there yet. It's still very uncomfortable when we get down into the trenches, so simply we choose to ignore some issues that tend to come up. So we'd like to focus on that in the upcoming year. And accountability, we really don't want to wait, look back and say, phew, I'm glad they're gone and now we can implement changes. If we're serious about it, we need to have those conversations now. And so we're going to focus on those conversations on the upcoming year. And what am I most excited about? I'm most excited about bringing youth that we know and acknowledge are not college bound. We want to bring them into the trades. That's a vision and a goal that I'm piggybacking on Bill Kelly. And we have a great opportunity. I think it's greatly acknowledged that we have a shortage of people in the trades. So we're going to coordinate with Marin Community Foundation and really focus on having a very structured way to target those students and bring them on board. And with that, I'll give it to the next person. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. As a Southerner, the only thing better than bacon at a meeting would have been some biscuits. But with that being said, my name is Erin Cochran. I'm a media specialist with Health and Human Services. I've worked with the county for over 10 years. I started out in advertising and decided that I wanted to employ my love of communications, but do it for something that had more meaning. Some of my clients were Verizon and Mayfield Dairy, and so instead of selling ice cream, I get to tell the stories of the great work that we do and the services that we provide. I'm also a Marin resident. Excuse me. And my son is in middle school here. So I'm really proud of the opportunity to be able to live, work, and play in the county that we get. So let's go into a few of the highlights. So a couple of the things that our group has been working on, you may have heard, we have over 6 mobile apps, and with Health and Human Services, one of the mobile apps that you've heard about is the food app. And one of the questions that we get a lot that people don't realize is that there are people that are going without in Marin. And the food app brings across all of the community partners that we have and makes it easy to search and find where are the services and how do you find food. And as a Health and Human Services employee, I've actually seen this because my number is at the bottom of a lot of the flyers. And, excuse me, struggling still with a little bit of a cold. And I've actually had calls from residents who have seen a flyer and they've called and they said, I want to tell me a little bit more about this. So super exciting to see. As many of you have heard about the work on climate change, Bill can speak to this much more eloquently. In fact, I went to Bill and I said, I have to speak about this. I mean, I can't even get my head around it. But we had this great conversation about how reducing our carbon footprint and climate change is more about, not just about the smaller pieces, but it's also looking at making systematic changes. And he's working with a group. They have hopefully a report coming out in third quarter that they're going to give to you. They're looking at a toolkit in 2019 for how do we look across our departments and our employees to make this a part, just like equity and just like we looked at cultural competency, how do we make this a part of our everyday work environment and how do we bring it home? So another thing that we looked at are online payments, and we worked with IST, and we now have a lot of things that before,
you would have to search, you'd have to dig through our website. And as a web content creator for Health and Human Services, I can tell you how frustrating it is when you're like, I just want to pay my ticket. I don't care what department, I don't care, I just want to hit that homepage and know how to go. And those are some of the innovative approaches, utilizing technology, but also making it easier for residents to find the services that they need. But here, much better than I can speak, here's a short video from Bill telling you a little bit more about our reducing our carbon footprint.
I think the most exciting part of being involved in this particular initiative of the 5-year business plan is that it presents an opportunity to be able to apply integrated thinking to the challenges of improving our customer service, improving our business practices, and at the same time reducing greenhouse gas emissions or our carbon footprint for the county. We have made excellent progress, I think, over the years in Marin County in addressing these challenges individually. We've made a lot of progress. This new opportunity is the first that I've seen to be able to apply more integrated thinking to look at identifying solution sets that will address all 3 of those things in some measure as the criteria. And I think the secret to success for this effort is going to be in engaging the subject matter experts for each of the programs that the county offers. Because I think these are really the individuals who are going to know how to be able to best address these challenges.
Okay, so what's coming ahead? We're really excited. If you remember, we had a hackathon for external residents, and what was great was seeing the youth in Marin come together and come up with some really amazing stuff using the data that we have. Now we're going to turn that and we're going to look at our internal staff and have an internal hackathon. And so our team is super excited about that. We've got a couple of new members that are coming on board, and it's a really great project. We can't wait to tell you guys more about it. We're also working on rebranding the Emmy Awards and looking at how we can take it. So innovation is not just about technology, and that's something that our group has talked a lot about. Innovation can be something as simple as reducing the number of emails. How many people have more than 100 emails in their inbox? I have quite a few. So we want to look at ways that we can innovate. And the Emmy Awards, traditionally we've talked to people and we heard feedback that they felt like it needed to be this great, we had a new system or we changed this technology, and we want to rebrand and have departments look at ways that they can innovate beyond just technology. Wendy is super excited about the online shopping cart. So before, if you wanted a deed, you had to physically come in. Now, you can go online, purchase it through the online shopping cart, and never even have to visit the Civic Center. And I know from previous surveys with the community, one of the things that they said is, give us more online services. So our group is really excited about that. And then, of course, Munis implementation. We're looking at working with IST, and as a steering committee, one of the things that we wrestle with is, well, we're not IT experts, but what we can do is we're from across a variety of different departments, and we give input based at the departmental level from employees and channel that feedback into some of the work that we're doing. What I want to leave you with is I think what's important to note about looking forward is, again, innovation is not just about technology. It's about changing the way that we do business, telling the story of how we do that business, and deliver our services in an innovative way. And that's what our group is excited about, and that's what I'm personally excited to be a part of. Thank you. Good morning, my name is Amy Yardley, and I'm an investigator with the District Attorney's Office. Here to talk with you about Focus Area 3 Growth and Development. Prior to coming to the county almost 2 years ago in January, I was a police officer for the city of Novato. During that time, I worked with county employees in various capacities and I was able to see their enjoyment in working in the county and the career and growth and developments that they were offered as employees. This exposure to these employees was a key point and reason why I came over to work for the county and left the city of Novato. I value features of the 5-year business plan, and in particular the way the county is invested in the employees, the growth and development of the employees, and the growth and development in the county as a whole, as well as in myself personally. In addition to recently joining the Planning Commission, I have been afforded the opportunity to become a executive board member of the Deputy Sheriff's Association, where I serve as their Political Action Committee treasurer. I also am currently enrolled in the Leadership Academy, which has been an awesome experience. These are just 2 ways that I've been afforded the opportunity and given chances to grow and develop in my career here in such a short time. So I'd like to take a few minutes to talk with you about some of the ways that the year 3 have been proceeding with the focus area 3 and what they mean to me and how they've impacted me personally. So strategy 1 of focus area 3 was to develop a culture of feedback for all employees, and this has been fully launched and is ongoing. Beginning this last year, we have all new employees are receiving training on the Performance Excellence Program platform, and it's a requirement for new employees. In addition to that, we have employee participation in the PEP process, but supervisors will also now receive training in Performance Management 2.0. This will help assist develop meaningful goals and writing evaluations for their employees. In my first year here, I personally attended the PEP training. I have not yet participated in the process for my self-evaluation, but I will be participating in January when my annual evaluation is due. I really look forward to this opportunity because it will help me to develop career goals and have meaningful conversations with my direct supervisor. I also feel like it will develop some accountability for both of us to help me succeed and accomplish these goals. These programs really are the foundation of what leadership at all levels really means. We also, with the culture of for all employees comes a coaching culture, and this is a skill in itself which requires an open mindset with trust and communication. To support this, we are rolling out boot camp for supervisors, and this will be offered quarterly. This curriculum includes soft skills. It teaches how to be proactive in guiding employees and develop that relationship of trust and understanding so that supervisors can adequately coach their employees. It also will provide online training to support staff and to people who will be being coached so that they can value the feedback and they kind of know what that feedback's going to look like and be open to it, because we can all grow with productive feedback. While developing SMART goals and further defining what leadership at all levels really means, this coaching program is going to help develop the employee. This is important to me because I feel like coaching fosters an environment of growth and it provides a clear expectation of what needs to be achieved in our jobs. Within Focus Area 3's second strategy, which is to promote and provide career development opportunities, we have new learning opportunities and stretch assignments that have been developed and have been ongoing. The county offers numerous trainings that are both mandatory and optional, and we're going to be rolling out in the near future a comprehensive training calendar and a schedule of these training opportunities. This will be published online and the employees will have access to it to see where these opportunities lie. One example of this is after, in response to popular demand, we're going to have a basic Excel class, and after that we will have a more advanced Excel class, which I personally look forward to attending. So I think that this online publishing and this training calendar will be super helpful for planning ahead to know what county offered trainings there are, and also being able to look online at that schedule to be able to plan ahead, enjoy, and be able to attend the trainings based on my own personal schedule. So in 2018, stretch assignments took off like a shining star. 13 employees across the county led the implementation of the stretch assignments. And this pilot program will be coming to an end shortly. And with that, we will be taking the feedback from the participants and really looking at the program and seeing what we can, the good and the bad and takeaways, and how we can move forward and make it even better than it already is. I really appreciate stretch assignments because they allow employees to work in areas where they need more experience and can't get it in their current work environment. And I think that's a great asset to that employee to be able to have that opportunity. Focus area 3 is really about asking the employees to work harder, smarter, and with more greater fulfillment. And stretch assignments really allow this to happen. So we're going to watch a short video. Chris Shaw, she was one of the participants in the stretch assignments, and she's going to talk about her experience.
As the Equal Employment Specialist, my passion and focus is promoting positive employee engagement. I applied for the HHS Info Fair Coordinator Stretch assignment so I could learn more about the largest department in the county, the Department of Health and Human Services. HHS has over 30 programs, services, and with me sitting in the Civic Center HR department, I knew very little about the programs, acronyms, and people. Through my stretch assignment, I was able to network with so many wonderful people at HHS, and I now have a more dimensional view of HHS, as well as how HHS fits with the county. I was able to build upon my project management experience and improve upon my public speaking and organizational skills, all of which enhances my ability to do my job as an equal employment specialist.
Okay, so looking ahead, HHS and the Department of Finance are already using the Performance Management 2.0 training, and it will be rolled out countywide in the second half of 2019. Additionally, employee self-evaluations will become a standardized process where everyone in the county will have the same evaluation process, will participate in the same process, which I think is great because we will all know what to expect and it will be universal across the county. Next year we will go online for that training tool that we talked about where we have those learning opportunities and trainings. It will be published online so everyone will have access to see what those trainings are and to be able to schedule them. The coaching methodology has been in development since the 5-year business plan was created, and in 2019, manageable and practical coaching will be brought out countywide to benefit all employees. That kind of goes with that training, the boot camp for supervisors. That's going to be brought out countywide, and it's going to help with the coaching of all employees in the county. The hope with the stretch assignments is that we will roll out the second phase of them in spring of 2019 once we've evaluated the current pilot program and decide how we're going to change it moving forward, if anything needs to be changed, of course. So while we move into the 4th year of our business plan, I'm really excited about the growth the county's made thus far, and I really look forward to the work and the growth and development the county is going to continue to make. This has been an amazing opportunity for me, and I really appreciate the time that you've given me this morning. Thank you.
What about the dog?
Okay. With my pictures. My name is Eva Rasuli. I work in ISD department. I joined County of Marin in July 2017 and joined countywide 5-year business plan focus area for communication 6 months ago. So pretty new. As a resident of Marin County, I am proud of the opportunity to be part of this amazing team to help Marin County to be a better place to live. So highlights about the project we did this year. So problem-solving team. Problem-solving team build a more connected, workforce engaged community. This team includes diversity of perspective, and they are committed to a shared vision. They function outside of the organizational structure, and they seek a realistic solution. So now they have some goals. I can tell you about that. Some of the problem-solving team goals is increase employee engagement, increase public engagement, increase transparency, increase opportunity for innovation, increase efficiency, better service to the community, inclusive work environment at all levels, share accountability, and support leadership development. Okay, another project we are. We are proud of that. For 5 years business, 5-year business plan career. We have in Career Day we have a booth for 5-year business plan, and the communication team came up with the plan to inform employees about 5-year business plan, vision, and mission. And we distribute flyers, we collect employees' feedback, we answer the question about 5-year business plan, and we had some fun games we played there. So another project we work on that, it's performance management. It's another area. Performance management team has been approved by the board last year with this goal to become a better organization by connecting every employee to county-wide vision and mission. Performance management team outcomes are to become a continuously improving organization, to engage employees at all levels in decisions, to communicate our priorities and outcomes, to provide a clear process for departments to become high-performing. Okay, and then we watch a short video about HPO.
I had the opportunity to attend the High Performing Organization class on October 2017. 3 days where employees of all levels of the organization collaborate and learn new concepts that I would say are leading to a switch in the county's culture. Since then, I've participated in several parallel organizations that are working on changing the way decisions are made within the county, where groups such as Collaborative HPO, Performance Management, and currently the Compass Implementation Group. Management has realized that engaging the employees who perform the work in the decision process give better results. The County of Marin culture is changing. I am very excited with all these new initiatives, and as an employee, I feel proud to work for such an innovative and progressive organization.
Looking ahead, exciting project for the coming year. So, new intranet or hub, we are very excited about our new data management platform based on SharePoint with the goal of having centralized data management to improve county-wide communication. This project has started this year. All departments involved except Sheriff and DCSS. Training is being developed and will launch end of the year and early next year. There is an active need for people to sign up to be a site owner, and official launch is next spring. The other project, exciting project, it's State of the County 2019. So State of the County video focus on 3 important areas: performance management, equity, and sustainability. We are planning to launch this video in mid-January. And the other project is pretty new, and it's a visioning exercise. Board committed in 2019 with input from the resident survey this fall. The board plans to work on developing a county vision in spring 2019. Okay. And I'll pass it to Rachel.
I'll stand over here, Carrie.
Hi, I'm Carrie Reedy with Department of Child Support Services.
And I'm Paul Mushrush from Public Works.
And we're
We're ambassadors for the 5-year business plan. This is the last quarter of year 3 of the 5-year business plan. At the first quarterly meeting of this year, a large group of us met in your board chambers to discuss how we could increase employee engagement and participation in the plan. We made a list of different suggestions and then took a vote. The 2 most popular ideas both involved a wider, more active role for the ambassadors of the 5-year business plan. 9 months have gone by since then, and we've all been very busy. But now year 4 of the plan is almost here, and it promises to be an exciting one. The ambassadors have been working in the background the whole time, and now it's time to step forward and take a new, more proactive role.
The initial suggestion and plan that came out of that earlier meeting was to go around to the different departments with a PowerPoint presentation much like this one. For weeks and weeks, we worked on all the great slides and talking points we could include, but at the same time, we were having some doubts. It wasn't a fancy presentation that made us believe in the plan. It was receiving news and invitations from the leaders, from the people we respected, leaders from CAO, HR, and with other departments. That is what made us want to join in and get involved. We came to realize that more voices were needed from grassroots to reach out to both longtime employees and new employees. Year 4 is almost here, and survey shows that we could benefit from more employee engagement. So it's time for the title of the 5-year business plan ambassador to take on its true meaning.
Many of us have been with the plan for quite some time. When we went to the big meeting earlier this year, we expected more of what we were used to, earnest and friendly discussions. We didn't expect to be served spaghetti and marshmallows, but that's what Angela Nicholson had brought for us. We were asked to form into new teams and quickly came up with a plan to build the tallest structure possible, using materials that did not seem quite up to the task. Spaghetti, marshmallows, string, and tape. The winning tower of spaghetti, however, was surprisingly impressive. And also surprising was how fast we all formed up and worked together on something we had never tried before. We found that it just took leadership, communication, and collaboration. There are plenty of people at the higher levels of the county who have been doing the messaging these past 3 years. But we know that many of our co-workers have not yet embraced the message. We now feel it's time to take this to the streets in every departmental division and in every county facility.
We now see clearly that it will take more engaged ambassadors, more social get-togethers, more media techniques, and more outreach on a regular basis to reintroduce the plan and break through the obstacles to change within an organization this size. The key will be to actively support a vigorous ambassador team, working more closely with departmental management to stimulate the dialogue about improved business practices of the County of Marin. It's all about making our work days better and our workplace the best that it can be. In doing so, we will deliver more value to the public, which is our true employer. That's the task we believe we can and will succeed over the next 2 years. And we'd like to thank you for your continuing support of the 5-year business plan and the County of Marin employees. Thank you.
So, neither Angela nor I actually had a huge role in this presentation. It was this group of wonderful people, our communications focus area, as well as a couple other people, put this whole thing together, including Lainey, who helped with all the videos. Thank you very much. So it was really a collaborative effort across people. So it was wonderful. And now, yes, thank you. Are there any questions? Open it up. Okay, well, thank you all for coming.
I think we probably have some comments.
Okay, great.
I know it's us. So my first comment is how fantastic it is to have employees from all over the county and to hear from everyone. This is just great, and I think, it's kind of the embodiment of the next to the last slide about team. Together, everyone achieves more, and we've seen that in action this morning. Really fascinating, and as a member of the board subcommittee that's been involved in this process, it's just every time we have one of these reports and how the work is evolving is so incredibly impressive. The graphics were also really great. Whoever put this presentation together did a really great job. But I'm just very excited about all of this, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the report out of the stretch assignments in particular. I know that's something a lot of people are looking forward to, and I'm eager to hear how that's been working and what can be done, if anything needs to be done to make it better, but obviously scale it up so more people can participate. But I'd say just keep up the good work. I think, when I first took office 7 years ago, I don't think I had this experience of being in a room with folks from so many departments at one time, and that's exactly what we need to be doing, enhancing our communication. So you're walking the talk and keep going.
Yeah, thank you all. Great presentation. I had just a couple things. It really is now, let's see, 3 years under your belt, because really, actually, we're not doing a thing. You guys are doing all the work. It really feels like the components of the 5-year business plan and these areas of focus are really starting to gain traction in a big way. And it's from the cultural competency trainings to the stretch assignments. I mean, these sort of discrete elements that are parts of different efforts are starting to feel like they're part of the institution itself. And that's really, really exciting. It almost feels like the focus areas are on their way to becoming institutional values at some level. And I think that's important. But of course, once something becomes almost institutionalized, it can also start to lose its momentum and its power. And so I think the challenge in any of these efforts is to, and as an organization, is to constantly be striving for improvement and where's the next place to go. I do think that I was thinking about the ambassadors' work and also just, hearing anecdotally throughout the organization, there are some employees who are much more aware of the 5-year business plan than others. There's also individuals who may be only aware of discrete elements and may be only appreciative of discrete elements, and that has to be okay too. I mean, I think an expectation to have everyone understand and embrace the entire 5-year business plan may be a great goal, but it also doesn't have to be the end goal, because eventually you almost want these institutional values to become unrecognized as something we're striving for. So I'm just really impressed, and we don't, at least I don't have a day-to-day touch on this, and it really is feeling like it's employee driven and does not feel top down, and it's really impressive. Anyway, thanks for everyone who's involved.
Let me just add my voice. A great presentation, and thank you all for all the work that you all have been doing. It shows. Especially interested in cultural competency and the work on that. And I was reminded when we first started this business plan and looked at equity, I think someone said in the literature, equality is making sure that everyone has a pair of shoes. Equity is to make sure they fit. And that should keep us going. Another thing that, I'm very excited also about the emphasis on trades and teaching the trades here. And I would really hope that also includes mentoring. I know the labor unions are very big on that, and I think for a county government to also stress that would be a great thing. And then lastly, this morning, as I was thinking about this meeting, and I thought, oh my God, we're not going to have bacon. But then it occurred to me that to not have the cafeteria open really could be seen as an equity issue, because the employees don't have a place to go for coffee, jurors don't have lunch. So I think we need to look at opening the cafeteria equity-wise. Thanks.
And I also want to thank you all, thank you to the presenters, because your presentation was really clear to understand where we're going with this and where we want to go with this. And so I just want to thank you, and thank you to everyone else in the room that came to attend too. It shows the support throughout the county. One of the things that caught my eye was the idea of the open house, because you may or may not know that one of the initiatives in my office hours, was to bring county employees with us, department heads and other employees, to put a face on the county departments. And I think that's really important. So I was particularly intrigued with that. Some of you in the room actually have joined me, and I think some have come reluctantly, but after they've been, they say, can I go again? They want to go again. So I think that's a good sign. And the public has really received it well. They really feel like they're now identifying with someone in DPW, with someone in DTA, CDA. So I think it's really valuable. So I was intrigued with that one thing. Maybe I focused on that too much, but I think it's an important element. So thank you all for presenting this. Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to share in that really hearty thanks. This is impressive, and I think really what this is all going toward is what we believe collectively, and that is maintaining and even furthering a culture of excellence here in the county. So it starts with recruiting. Very glad to hear that our hiring panels, our outreach are making sure that they're reflective of what we need to do to make sure we're hiring the best people. Training and development, the coaching piece, education, including trades. The stretch assignments, I am definitely interested in hearing more how that's playing out. That's something we've been really excited about. Employee participation, we're on our way. I think we can continue to do better on that. That is so key. And please continue to let us know if we're falling short on sending that message that we want to hear from employees on how we can continue to make this a great organization. Promotion potential is key, career advancement. And then the partnerships. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all in the business of working with the public. So that means direct partnerships out there, as Dennis is saying, getting out there together. It means breaking down artificial barriers internally, silos as we call them. I think we are doing a better job at that now, so let's continue that. But ultimately, this seems like, and it continues to get better and better, a good framework to achieve all these goals. So, well done. Yeah, Angela.
I was not going to speak, but I'm going to say just one thing. I think that the 5-year business plan is a really good example of the problem-solving team idea that we're rolling out now, working through the compass. And I think the way that I describe how they fit together is that the 5-year business plan is really about our abs. It's about building our core. It's our core strength so that we can provide the best services to our community. It's building up our people, and they are our best asset in this organization. And so every time I go to a 5-year business plan meeting, I come out energized by all of you. And there are more people in the room that are also integrally involved in this work. And so I just want to express my appreciation for the continuation and the enthusiasm and really the push. I really appreciate the ambassadors this year saying, let's not let it be year 4 and 5 without notice. Let's actually get out there and get people re-energized about it. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And I want to add my thanks to the presenters, certainly, and everybody in the room. I think we may have outgrown this conference room, which is a good sign. And maybe the next update we'll do in the board chambers. And just to let you know that the CAO's office and the board are here to support you. And there are some ideas that you brought up about the equity message from the CAO and the board, and we'll be happy to follow up on that. There's a subcommittee working on underrepresented in the trades and what we can do to support that. So we can certainly follow up on that. So we're here to support your efforts, but the most impressive thing is that you guys are owning it and carrying it. And so thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else have any thoughts?
Well, the stretch assignment graduation is going to be on December 13th, so we'll make sure you get an invitation to that.
Sounds great. Okay, everyone, well, thank you. There's still a little bacon.
To go bacon.
Have a great day.